Hi guys, this is Thaddeus and this is Darius, and yeah, him. And as you can see, we kind of switched it up a little bit. It's 2018, you know what I mean? No, not really. It's kind of raining outside, so we decided we was going to be inside, and so we're gonna have a little different environment. A little feng shui going on. We got the couches moved, whatnot. But as you can see, we also have an amazing friend between us. His name is Jason Mcilhaney.
Hi, my name's Jason Mcilhaney. That was perfect.
Oh, sorry, Mcilhaney. Sorry.
Oh, I thought you said it right.
I thought I said it right too.
I thought you did.
I thought I did.
I think you did.
I think I did too. So this is Jason. We've talked about Jason a lot, just about on every podcast. And then if you always hear Darius talking about, oh yeah, I was texting Jason. This is him. This is the guy. Hey. This guy right here. So today we're going to be interviewing him so you guys get to know more about him. Jason is a Scorpio. He is very, 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 well, he's a cusp. Sorry. Sagittarius, Scorpio, cusp.
Yeah, I'm a cusp.
So he's very, very, very deep and intense. So you can expect a lot of interesting stuff from him. I honestly feel like this is going to be a very fun podcast. We're going to ask all types of questions. This is like going to be awesome for Darius because him and Jason, they have like deep talks, like randomly, not deep to randomly, but all the time. Not even really deep. They just, what could be deep to others is normal for them. There we go. Yeah. I mean, you're always talking about stuff, so
both of you guys
can
go deep.
We can go deep,
and that's normal for us.
That's normal. And also, as well, if you guys haven't met, we also have another little buddy. His name is Noah. Say hello. Don't lick me. So he's gonna be probably barking in the background. So if y'all wonder what that is, that's him. He's extra. So I'm just gonna put him down because he gonna think I'm friendly with him. So I just messed him.
No, you love him.
So with that being said, we're gonna get started on it. I'm going to be on my phone right quick just to get it all set. Since we have the laptop in front of us, I'm gonna use this for the messaging when people message, and we know. So that being said, I will let Darius take it off. Or actually, no, Jason. Introduce you. Yeah. So, Jason, if you don't mind, can you tell the audience about yourself and how whatever comes to mind? Who you are. You blessed.
Double blessed.
You blessed.
I'm sorry, I've never seen someone sneeze like.
Yeah, he's weird. He's going through a little.
It's like a machine gun.
He's going through a little phase, guys. So that being said. By the way, this is going to be a very random, very funny podcast. So I'm just giving you a heads up. So here you go. Here you go. I'm going to get you a little white.
Please, because I use my sneeze to the left and over, right?
I'm going to get you.
My name's Jason. I don't know if this is supposed to be like.
Oh, no, just talk.
Just talk? All right. My name's Jason, and I'm 24 years old. 24? 25? 25, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't really keep up with the birthday things. To tell a little bit about myself. Where do you even start? I guess you could say I've had a series of events, synchronicities that made me wake up or more conscious of who I am. How it started was, I believe, 18, 17. Well, I believe we're all on this journey. But I feel like I went to sleep very fast. I wasn't really aware of myself as a kid. I know some kids are like, they're awake and they can see things and that. I could see things, but I didn't know what they were. And an example of that is in my mom and dad's room when I was like afraid of the dark and I ran to them and I was sleeping between them. I saw who now I know is Iguanados, who he calls himself a master animal spirit or an ascended master. It doesn't matter the form. But I saw him actually come out of the lamp, like kind of like twirling down. And I just would see things. I would feel things. I didn't know how much I was feeling as an empath. And so it was it was very different. It was, I thought I had a lot of anxiety. I'm sure I did, but I could tune into things so easily, into other souls. But the big thing of when I was 18, there was a lady, it was an older lady I fell in love with. And this was a huge thing to make me aware of how I was kind of toxic. I had to grab for something outside of me. I didn't believe in myself. I didn't trust myself. I definitely didn't love myself. And so when someone came along that showed all these qualities, very attractive woman, she was older, She was actually the head psychiatrist at an asylum. No, but I'm sure I wished at that time.
Oh
but
my
no.
God.
Oh my God. But we were very close, and she cared about me a lot. But I couldn't see that because I didn't care about myself. I didn't trust myself. I didn't love myself. So I felt like it was a very huge lesson of self-love, because it didn't matter how much she said I was attractive, how lovable I was, how much she cared for me. I would never see it because I didn't believe it in myself. And so I guess you can say it was an initiation of self-love. And she led me to actually a psychiatrist that helps her, because she wanted to help me. And I was she knew about my problems. She knew how, I guess you say, toxic I was. I was very needy, clingy, desperate, depressed, negative. Didn't believe in myself. And I was a martial artist at the time. I actually have second degree black belt in Taekwondo and second degree in mixed martial arts. But they still I didn't have that confidence. I didn't have that sense of who I am. And during this part of my journey, it was very intense. She cut me off. She had to. I was very, very toxic. But it led me to a therapist, the therapist that she went to, and she really wanted to help me and actually introduced me to let me start questioning my beliefs. And what I like to say is that, as a quote, I think my higher self or soul put me so far in the dark, so to speak, I'd be striving for my light, because even the therapist was like, you're doing like in 1 year what people wouldn't do in 10 years. Because I wanted to change so much. I had this crazy drive for changing, because I hated myself. I did not love myself. I wanted to change so bad. I was so open with him. And so I went for a year, and then that led to where he's like, why don't you try your mini dream job, Barnes & Noble again? I go there, that scared me. And of course, because it was like dealing with people, but I was ready. I met Thaddeus here, who is a very big part of my awakening. I was talking, actually he came up to me once, and I actually denied because of past judgments and old belief systems I had. But I was very open enough because I went to the psychologist for about a year. And I think at the time I was still currently going. Just led to where he was talking about like spirit guides and like, oh, well, can you sense fire around me? And I was like, I wanted to connect with the guys. I wanted to so bad to see. I wanted to see so bad, which is funny. It's one of my biggest gifts, actually, is clairvoyance or clear seeing. But it just kind of led to a bunch of synchronicities where I met different spiritual intuitives, different friends, different soulmates, different mirrors of me, I guess you can say. Just kind of where I'm at today, and just so grateful. I've honestly just been focusing on myself. You know, I have the friendships, and I have all the relationships I really need. The most important one with myself. I know it sounds kind of cheesy, but it's seriously, because I met these guys because I focused on myself, and it just unfolded. Really just focusing on myself. I don't know what else to say. This is like my second time doing like a YouTube thing. So
I guess we can help you out.
Yeah.
So, okay. Going back a little bit, because we're gonna talk on this topic, but going back a little bit with Jason. So it's funny, just to give him a little preview. So me and Jason, we actually went to the same high school together, but I only seen Jason and his brother when they were doing a talent show. Yeah. And they were doing martial arts and stuff. I was like, oh, wow, that's cool and whatnot. Everybody in the school thought they were Japanese. I'm just not going to lie. But if you look at Jason, you wouldn't believe that you are Colombian and
half
white and Colombian. Sorry. What?
Yeah, you already said white.
Yeah, he just said it. He just said
it.
I know. Because you have no glasses on right now, so I can't even really see this.
He just looked him, and if you see his brother as well, they look Asian. They look Asian or Japanese. But when they told us, it was like, oh yeah, no, we're like, I'm half Colombian.
Half Colombian, and then other. Yeehaw!
Yeah, dad is from Texas, and you know he's white. But he's like, we were just like, okay, so what else? He's like, no, that's it. I'm like, you're lying. Like someone lied to you. Until we met his parents, and it was like, oh shit, like
Colombian as fuck,
right? I was like, oh, okay, that's okay. It's still hard to believe, but anyways, then that's when we met. Fast forwarding, we met at Barnes Noble at his place. And then it was funny because I did say when we met, he was like, "Yeah, I don't know you," but my intuition was like, "He knows it, but I don't know." But I'm gonna leave it alone.
I lied.
Right? But it was just a space of where he was at. But fast forwarding again, what was pretty cool is that when I met Jason actually had a gift that I wasn't aware of at the moment. And I learned is when I was talking about spirit guys, I was asking him if he can sense them, see them, whatnot. The funny thing, and because it's very hilarious with us, he was saying, I can't see them, I can't hear them, but I keep smelling popcorn. So
I know we don't burn popcorn
in the
right?
cafe. Yeah.
We don't burn popcorn in the cafe.
So it was very funny. I was like, wait, you smell popcorn? It was like, yeah. So, I was testing it. I was like, okay, let me have fire kind of go, then come back. And then he was like, yeah, I just keep smelling popcorn. But I learned that he had clairgustance, which means clear smelling. Yeah. It means clear smelling. And if you haven't heard that or know what that means in brief, if, say, for example, someone was getting a car and they were talking to you about the car, and every time they talk to you about the car, you keep smelling like a hot engine or an engine overheating. But it was only when they kept talking about the car. And then sure enough, a few weeks they get the car and now they have engine problems because the engine keeps overheating. So that's like an indication like, okay, you're smelling it. That's like clairgustance. But he had that. So that was something that was pretty cool. So he had his stuff pretty early. Another thing is too, if you don't mind, because you kind of tell people, because before when I was helping you out and stuff, that tell them a little bit about that period, like when you were learning about all that stuff.
Okay. Damn, this thing's heavier than I thought. It's like
they can beat someone with
it. I feel like I have an idea of who you're thinking of.
Jeez. Never heard that.
Or like a shake weight. So during that period, I guess I'll go to the beginning. It just kind of opening my eyes to channeling, guides, energy work, energy shifting or changing things. I remember I talked to my brother about Thaddeus, and we're at this park. I'm like, dude, I met this person. They're like into spirit guides, and they're real, and he connects to them and he can channel them. And it was so exciting because I've always wanted to do that, or I felt like I always wanted to do like the Indian meditation where you go like in the forest, or you go on the vision quest and you just sit down and you like connect with the wolf, or you connect with the bear, or you connect with your ancestors. I always wanted to do that and like to see it like in my head and receive guidance, never understanding I really could. And I remember that one night, or actually a few nights, he's come over to my house a few times, and he actually helped us with learning how to channel. And there's this book called Opening a Channel by Sanaya Roman and Dwayne Packer, I believe. And it gets you to open up and have certain techniques on how to open up and channel your guides. And so he was helping us with that. My brother was like out the floodgates. Me, I felt I was struggling. My dad thought he was making stuff up, but he was channeling too. We all had our own paces. And I remember one night, I channeled my higher self. I just felt I didn't want to channel my guys. I wanted to channel my higher self. And when I channeled, I actually surprised him, which surprised me with the stuff that was coming out of my mouth. Because I thought, like, well, how'd I do? And it's like, dude, do you know what you said? Like, whoa. But just basically, he's been helping a lot through the different belief systems, especially about religions, about like, oh, they're demons, or it's your mind making it up, or it's a low spirit or whatever, or just basically like you're making it up, and all my fears. And I've had a lot of times where I've seen a lot of things from different videos of evidence from others' belief systems of, oh, you're just talking to spirits and they're not good, or God said this, or it's demons, or it's evil stuff, or you're supposed to stay away from that. And I had a very tough time with trusting my guides and trusting I was really connecting to them, or that they were even real. But Thaddeus was there a lot of times. I texted him. I'm like, dude, what the fuck's going on? Like, this is happening. And it was basically my own doubt, my own fear. It was me shifting and bringing up the beliefs I needed to let go in order to really relax into it. Because I believe it's already there. It's already us. But I had a lot of trials, you could say. A lot of trials where there was people who, even of like very high authority, who would or very, in a society, very successful, who would be telling me, oh, that's this or that's this. It was very initiation of trusting that inner voice, no matter how small it felt, even though it was very loud and clear. And just to trust it. It's like, it'd be like, okay, so this is their belief systems, but what do you believe? And they always even said, if you want, you can always drop us. You can always let us go. We love you no matter what. We're here for you. We'll leave you alone. But they always would ask. They were like, is this what you really want to do? And there was no pressure or anything. It was just this self-compassion, self-love. And Thaddeus was there a lot of the times to help me with that, to opening the channel, even to a certain degree, to where it was almost like I was becoming codependent on him. And he was like, okay, ask yourself, because you know the answers. But I would be like, well, can you channel this for me, or you can channel that for me? And it was exciting, because the channeling was like, oh my God, it was so amazing. It was what I always wanted to hear, especially about the elements, like the Native American stuff. I loved it. I was so into it, and I wanted to learn about it. But it was a process, definitely about letting go of my fears and illusions and belief systems, which did serve me, but they were time to let go. Or that I borrowed from others. So yeah, that was kind of a little bit.
That was good. So, kind of now that you're here, looking back at that time, how would you say? Because me and you both, obviously, I was with you, but
Yeah.
during the time that you were attacked on a regular by people, going through the doubt, going through inner doubt, going through outer doubt, all of the doubts, the intensities, people telling you this during that phase of all that intense, I would say, what's the word I'm looking for? Conflict outside of, with people, or there's another word I can't think of at the moment, but it was just
I'm good at words.
It's like opposite force, resistance. Oh, there you go. Dang. During the intense resistance, from a lot of other people, what would you say? Like, how would you say that has served you? Looking back at that, how would you say that has served you to become the person you are now?
Oh, huge. Absolutely huge. They were actually hidden gifts, if I would have understood that, really looking back on it. Just about the trusting my gifts and intuition and all that, because I was going to go back to even the self-love, like having the opposite factor, having that challenge. It makes you realize how much you take the things for granted, or how much you may not be able to see clearly what's right in front of you. And what I mean by that is like what he was talking about. I needed those challenges in order to, it's funny because actually I was kind of channeling this event, what we're doing now, earlier, and I was kind of receiving stuff, and now that's what I'm getting in my head was, wow, oh God, it just fleeted. But it was just becoming self-aware. It was kind of like, how do I say it? It's the dark thing. It's the illusion thing. It's like you're put so far in the dark that you just literally are striving for that light, the light that you are. And it's just a metaphor to understand the realization of seeking yourself, understanding yourself, and having the challenges. That's what it is. Challenges, the challenges that help you dig deep, the challenges that make you, I don't say force you, but they push you to go inside. There's like no other way. You're like, okay, I need to figure this out. It pushes you to really look at yourself. It's almost like breaking down of barriers, or like kind of like a shakeup. There we go. You can say a universal shakeup. It's like a shakeup, like, okay, it's a strengthening and fortifying force for yourself. It's when I had all these doubts, when I had all these fears, and when I had the people come up to me, it truly was a gift, because they were the resistances I need in order to strengthen and fortify that trust. Because what did it do? It pushed me to go to that inner voice. It pushed me to go to the guides. It pushed me, and it strengthened and created a resolve to where it's like, wow, okay, look at all this strengthening and experience of trusting and believing, even when others were telling me, no, that's wrong. So basically just hidden gifts and strengthening and fortifying of the trust and belief in my connection with Source, Great Spirit, however you'd like to say it. But definitely breaking down of barriers and walls, and just the challenges help you dig inside. You help go inside. It helps strengthen and fortify. That's really the only words that come to mind about that.
He has it.
Having gone from having these barriers and having experienced the barriers and having broken them down and come out on the outside. Now, do you think you need those barriers to grow? Do you think you even need something to push you into a state of growth, or can you just tap into growth on your own?
Like that. It's no. It's actually funny you say that, because I was actually getting to that point where it's like you really don't need the challenges anymore, or the crises. I don't know if I said that right. Crises. Yeah, crisis. I had speech class a long time. but like as Darius said, I feel like now I don't need the challenges. I can just tap into whatever, I won't say lesson, whatever wisdom I need at that time. Because I've already been through it. I know there's people that say like, well, you need more of the challenge, or you need this, or you need that. But it's like, why don't you just create and have the wisdom flow to you? You know, because the challenges were meant to bring out the wisdom. There we go. Yes. It's like the wisdom is like, I don't know why I'm getting fishing right now, but it's kind of like the wisdom is catching a fish, and the challenge is the fishing pole. Let's see. I'm trying to see how this, like, you're reeling it in. That's what it is. The challenge helps you reel in your wisdom. It's where you need to catch something and you're reeling it in. I don't know if that made any sense to anybody, but it just helps you pull in what you already know. So once you get to that point, you don't need the challenges anymore. You can just create and just access it. So really, I feel the challenges are a way to push you to really just dig deep, dig inside, go inside, and just pull out whatever you need. But once you don't need the challenges, or once you've got to that point where you trust and believe you can go into your wisdom without being pushed there, then I agree with Darius that you really don't need the challenges. You don't have to create more challenges in order to grow. You can just have the growth from just being, really.
Have the growth from just being, but growth by definition is, you can essentially going from this starting point to that, and within that the difference is the contrast, because there's starting point A and starting point B, but to get to starting point B from part A, you have to do something and make action. So how can one just be if action is required? How can growth result if one needs to act?
Okay, so your question was, how can growth be?
Because you said that growth, you don't need challenges to have growth. You got to just be. How does one do that? How does one just be while trying to have growth?
Okay, I hear you. Honestly, just connecting to your source self, higher self, and listening and taking action on that guidance.
When you get taking action, yeah, it's a part of the being. Taking action, receiving, yes, is very important, but you have to act.
Definitely taking action. And
how does one act?
Oh, actually, I'm glad you asked that, because I had this earlier. I had like something come to me. Honestly, we put so many definitions on what guidance is. Even for me, even today was a realization. Like, I had like a lot of old parts of me coming up, of like, oh, if it's not coming in a very crazy channeled way, like how some people do, then I'm not receiving guidance. But and honestly, could be like, okay, drink. I've said this one on a YouTube thing with Darius. Just drinking water, knowing when to go to the bathroom, and then taking that to like another thing, like, okay, what if you're guided to have a detox smoothie, or if you're guided to eat certain foods? Because we think that there have to be like such huge actions, and sometimes there will be, or sometimes it just might be many actions leading up to that. But it's really just keeping your field of possibilities so clear and open and pure to where you attract those very things. And so taking the action for the detox smoothie, for eating healthier foods, for listening to your guidance, whether it's yoga, whether it's meditation, whatever it may be. And not just listening to it and just taking it for granted. I did that a lot. But there's a huge difference when you do the small things that they're telling you, even if it seems like you're stuck in a place where you don't want to be. Because sometimes we think that the macrocosm or the big stuff or the microcosm isn't connected, but it is. So what you're doing is all connected. That will open up what you think is big. It will all lead and attract whatever you need. Like me drinking this water will get me more amplified in connection with source. It will help me relax more into it already. So like little things, you can watch a video, you can read a book, whatever you're leaded to or guided to not take it for granted and really take that small action, take that small leap of faith, and it will help build up to where you can take the bigger leap of faith, because it's all connected. Oh, I was drop the mic. I was just joking.
Don't drop the mic. Don't drop the mic. Darius will kill you. So this is like it's gonna be a very. I'm just gonna ask. It's whatever. So I'm gonna ask, what is it like being a cusp of like Sagittarius and Scorpio? Because you guys are known for a lot, like especially Scorpio is known a lot for intuition and things being like really like easy and stuff like that for you. I know you've hinted at like, sometimes things just come so fast that it took you some time to like trust it because it just came so easily. So if someone, right. So if you could just kind of like take us on an adventure, on a walk of like what it's like to be a cusp of a Scorpio and a Sagittarius. What is that like?
I don't know too much about astrology, so I'll try to answer as best as I can. But I guess Sagittarius is supposed to be kind of like the philosopher. So there was an earlier part of my journey where I was just very I have to know the absolute reality. And I wasn't patient with it. And there was a time where I went way too fast of a pace that was not comfortable for me. And it wasn't a flow. It was like I don't want to say force myself, but it was like a crazy drive to change myself. And it was I was breaking down my reality so fast of what I knew that it was just I had a lot of mental breakdowns. Did it serve me? Sure, it was great, but at the same time, it was very overwhelming for me because I was changing so fast and really just growth. Like I don't say forced accelerated growth, but it was just I could have took a more comfortable pace for me. But being a Sagittarius or Scorpio, I guess I'm always lucky. I'm always in the right spot I need to be. Like I said, I don't know too much about signs. I just know Scorpio is supposed to be very intuitive on things. Like my guides, I would hear things even when my crazy mental chatter was there. I would hear them and they'd be like, not everybody can do this. It's like the way you're doing this. It's like I'll hear them clear as day, even if I'm having some crazy, like I wouldn't even have to breathe, like deep breathing and center myself, and I would hear them, and that's so. Then I would think, oh, I'm not working for it, or God bless you, or I'm not, or you're blessed, as he says. But it's like, oh, but your sweater. Oh, okay. But things for granted because of how easily things come for us, or we think we're making it up because of how easily we really do pick up on people's stuff or energy. If I knew more about Scorpios than Sagittarius, I just know like philosopher and intuitive. I know a lot about that. Like, what are the traits?
I think you're more of a Sag than a Scorpio. That's like Sagittarius within you is, well, I think it's a combination because Sagittarius is the fun-loving, laughable, who's always dying of laughter at silly stuff. And it's also the one who wants to, I find that you want to make every little thing something profound. Like, ooh, a bird flew across at 22 o'clock and it was, you try to make, just small stuff.
That's phenomenal. A bird at 2 o'clock. That's heavy traffic.
Is it? But that's very much a Jason thing to do, just to make every little thing something profound. It's almost as if you're looking for something to fill you up with something. It's like you're looking for this amp of energy from an outside source, but what you need to realize is that you have the source yourself.
Yeah.
That's it.
That was just it. Yeah. I agree. Yeah, he's right, because I remember when I first channeled my higher self, I did something with a soda bottle actually, and it was like source in the universe and something with my higher self and whatnot. But he's right. I do try to look for the deepest thing in every small thing. Well, no, I've been getting way better at it now, that's for sure. But it's like I do always try to find, well, what's the deeper purpose to this? And I do love that. And I love deep stuff. I feel like it's normal. That's really to answer that question. If I knew more about astrology, I probably would be able to.
No, you're fine. I mean, you answered it. You're fine. So let's see. So Jason, where you are now. So what would you say you're experiencing now? Like, what are you learning? Where is Jason at now? We talked a bit about your past. Where are you at now?
Okay. Right now I'm kind of in a point where it's like self-compassion, no self-judgment, just allowing, really just trusting and relaxing that really I am tuning in to stuff on a very deep level. How easily I can really tune into somebody's energy, how intuitive I really am. It's a lot about really like trust. It's the biggest thing has been trust, that I'm not making it up. It's been way easier, but right now I'm actually working with a guide called Meadow who's helping expand my vision and do like intuitive exercises where I slow down things of what I'm receiving from him and images and forms. And that helped me a lot because then when someone asked me an intuitive question, like I was able to instantly receive because it wasn't like, because you have to just allow the images to come to you. And sometimes you're like, well, you want to kind of control it. Sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to make this up. It's like, it's really a surrender and trusting the flow that's coming to you from you. But that's kind of where I'm at right now and just acting on my guidance, actually acting on my guidance. Cause I always receive all the time. These guys tell me I'm always receiving, but I need to act. And so I've been kind of like changing my diet. I've been taking a detox smoothie, drinking way more water, trying to eat healthier foods. I've been doing stretches for my back because I just pulled it recently. Not like bad, but just like more exercise or activity. So just really acting on my guidance and listening to that voice and trusting it. And actually, it's funny because I've been having practices with that like on YouTube. Like there's online things where they have cards and my guides have been guiding me to where it's like, okay, we're gonna pick these cards and they show me or confirm something I already know. So that has been kind of like a kind of cute fun exercise. So like, oh whoa, this is cool. It's like because they literally will like circle the cards or I'll like be drawn to one and they'll be like, see, look how easy it is. So I'm just really listening to my guidance and acting on it. That's where I'm at right now. And understanding that there's a lot of shifts going on in my life. There's a lot of changes and just applying everything that I've ever been learning. Like that means the past two, I'm learning to apply it now. My parents are actually going through a divorce, but I understand everything's happening for a reason and that they're going to be happier in the end for it. And seeing it from a soul level. And I love them both, reconnecting with them again because there was a lot of emotions in it on top of lifetimes of letting go of energy. So I believe my guides tell me there's like this huge shift going on. I call it shedding. You might have heard it from both these guys of old energies, traumas, hurts, perceptions that we're letting go to be all us, fully us in this lifetime from all of our gifts and every single lifetime. But yeah, just really listening to my guidance and acting on it, I would say. It's been a process. It's definitely been a process, especially when there's an energy that's from another lifetime or even this one. And it's like I'm identifying with it as if it's me instead of, okay, this is what I'm releasing. This is what I'm letting go. They even say it's like, this is what you're tending to create. This is what you're releasing. This is what you're letting go. So it's been a huge, huge focus of self-compassion and self-love for sure. That's been huge for me, especially the self-compassion.
What about pacing yourself in terms of growth and not having outrageous expectations, knowing that these results will come with time, but just also be aware of, just know that that expectation and results are kind of one and the same. Because if you expect the results to come, they're going to come. So don't be so like bent on them coming right now. I feel like sometimes with you, I'm just saying this. I'm talking to you, but I'm talking to everybody else because I feel like it's like a mutual thing. Yeah, I feel like if you just know that you're going to get to the place you're wanting to get to, you're going to get there just by wanting to do it. You're already there in a way. Of course, there's things need to be done. Of course, you have to go somewhere to actually do it, but you're going to get to the final result. It's inevitable because you're desiring to do so, and as a result of that desire, the actions take place. If you're actually taking action, and then as a result of that action, you will have the results you want. So I'm just wanting people to pace themselves because I feel like Jason is wanting to do a lot of things in his life, and he's feeling as if he's not where he should be. But know that where you should be is only where you think you should be. It's like an outside perspective, but it's not really yours because you in here that you know that you're exactly where you need to be. Everyone. If you're in the streets right now, if you're living on or someone's rooftop or something ridiculous, you're exactly where you need to be. It's like you got niggas on rooftops. You imagine?
My mom was like, wait, do it like New York somewhere. They had actually I was thinking like that's what I was thinking. Let's see when they can go out there and say. Okay, all right.
You are, yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
You are exactly where you need to be. Just pace yourself and enjoy the process. Pace yourself and enjoy the process. Truly, that's. I want you to give like an intuitive reading for them. I want you to pace yourself and enjoy the process as you do so. Tell them what you're seeing. Tell them what you're feeling. Tell them how you're doing it. Step by step for those who want you to utilize your gifts through you.
Darius loves to push me off that edge in a good way. It's good. Would you like to say that to the microphone, sir?
Just said abusive. That's all. Nah,
the truth comes out. Wow, you really could beat somebody with this thing. Okay. You know, it's funny because I'm still learning to trust, even though it really does come to me easily. And I'm just gonna describe the process. I am very clairvoyant, where I see images, or I can hear things, or I can feel things. So what I'm getting right now are like rings. So it's kind of like in space. I usually see it in space or in the universe, and I see like 3-4 different rings, and they're separate first. So they're kind of like, here's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I see them all connected, and then I see it expanding. I don't want to say outward, but it's expanding forward in front of me, and then this same row of rings they were separate at first, but then they're connected. They're expanding to where there's not added rings. Noah, that was so cute that he did that. So it's like expanded rings, and so they're bigger and they connect. Oh wow, this really is working really well. And so they expand bigger and they connect. So they didn't change. They didn't really add anything on or anything or take away, but they expanded bigger to where they can connect, like in a huge circle. And what I'm seeing is like different, like think about like a layer, like, so you see the circle and then you see like a different layer, kind of like a film. So I see like a red, I see like a light bluish, I see like a purple, I see like a yellow, and I see, so they're in a circle, so they're kind of all in a way kind of facing each other, and I see like them all coming towards the center, and they're all kind of like in this vortex of energies. And I'm seeing like different, obviously like fireworks. I'm seeing like different energies coming out of it. I'm seeing different guides. I'm seeing different. It really depends on what you define as your source self, I guess you would say. So I see different mixes of energies coming out, and I see, and my visuals, I need to sometimes slow down because they do sometimes come fast. That's what Meadow's been helping me with, to slow down. And so I see kind of like so think about like the hourglass. So there's like this spinning of the energies here, and then think about like a figure 8 that comes down, and then there's a circle again. So it's like a figure 8 hourglass, and it's of this energy. And I see it rotating this way, then I see it rotating this way. So I see it going in all different directions, and then it multiplies upon itself. And then I see all of those different parts expand into different parts of the universe. And so you don't see them, but what's left is this bluish, white, lightish energy in the middle. And no matter how far these different parts of this hourglass were that they amplified or they multiplied, they're all connected to this source in the middle. So in simple words, I guess I could say that I feel like everybody is letting go of the implication of time and of space needed, and completely flowing from a continuous, momentous, soul invoking power of unlimited expansion, and not having to add anything from the outside, or not having to take away anything, but just using what they already have and expanding. And expanding, there's another word about this right now. Expanding, I guess you can say going deeper into yourself than ever before. And it's what I really get is another image is like a lotus flower. And you can think of the lotus flower, it's always in the water. It's like in the muddy water, and it grows no matter where it's at. And I remember saying this to a friend a long time ago. She was actually on this podcast. Her name's Loretta. It's like this. Think about the stem of the lotus flower. So you think of the stem, it's completely connected to the source. You know, it's all source, but here's the extension, the lotus flower, the soul, and there's this water that's source energy, you know, all that is what I say in its purest form. And you see the lotus flower. And so the part of it is grounded, it's in source. But now there's other parts of itself towards growing and expanding toward now the leaves are starting to touch. So other parts of itself before in other lifetimes that it couldn't really access, it's now able to access now in deeper and more profound ways. Oh, just burped, release some energy. But there's parts of yourselves that you're digging in deeper, that you're accessing, that you were never able to access before, that you're now able to access in this lifetime from all the limitations or perceptions that all these portals and all these different 5D, 6D, 7Ds, whatever you want to call it, all these different energies that are opening up are all that is releasing to truly access itself at the highest and most deepest levels than ever before. That I honestly thought I was going to do like a reading, like kind of like, oh, I didn't know I was going to go into a deep one.
How did you get that? Like, what did you do to do that? To get to that state of, like, how did you receive that image?
I literally saw it kind of like a movie playing in my head, not super.
How did you initiate it? How did you get from like not seeing it to seeing it? For those who are wanting to utilize your intuition.
Like how did I like practice or
like just now? Like how did you tune in? Like for me, I go into my heart. Thaddeus might do something, but I hear something.
Like I honestly I didn't even think about my heart.
Okay,
but I just it just came to me. See, that's that Scorpio thing. It literally just it just came to me, and it was just like I saw the image of the rings playing out. First, it's kind of like a feeling or knowing. I know what's going to play out, so it's kind of like. So kind of go with what your first instinct is. So if you're like, you don't have to see like I do. You can have a feeling like, I feel, it could be something simple. It could be like, okay, I feel like I'm expanding. There you go. You just received. Or like what I got was basically kind of reading for the all souls, if you want to say, or whoever's on here. And it was just basically seeing the image. Like first I felt like, okay, I feel like it's rings. And so it might even take something from a meditation I had. And it might not have been the same, but I was like, okay, so here's the rings. And so I saw the 4 rings in front of me pop up. So it's just kind of like the image is popping up and feeling where it's going to go, or clear cognizance, knowing where it was going to go. Because I knew right away it was something to do with expansion. And I was like, okay, I don't know how, but some parts were similar to different parts of my meditation or things as references that I was using before. So don't throw away things that might be as references. Don't become so dependent on them on something that's outside, but see it as a reference that will help lead you into something deeper. Like if there's books, I would say books were huge. They were almost like my guides at one point, but there's going to be things in books that they can receive only at a certain level, depending on their belief systems that filter it. And that you really might receive, your soul might receive stuff that's never been written before. That's never been written in stars or written in whatever you would like to say it. Like even the astrology, I love it. But it's like, if you think about other lifetimes, you've been so many other astrology things. You've been Pisces, you've been Aries, you've been Gemini, you've been Scorpio, Sagittarius. So it's like, if you define yourself by one thing, you're limiting yourself. If you define yourself as an ascended master, as an archangel, if you use a Buddha, then you're only limiting yourself to one aspect of your lifetime or one aspect of your higher being instead of the multidimensional fullness and wholeness that you truly could be flowing from. So it's really just letting go of the concepts that are holding us back, that keep us even higher, some higher truths that it's like, well, it's only this way, or it's this way, or schools of thoughts. What is your soul telling you that's uniquely for you? Think about, I like to say this a lot, let go of the iPhone 6 and go for the updates that you're constantly getting. You need to go. It's not that you need to go for it, but it's what is currently now. What old consciousness, what old energy are you still using? If it's serving you, great. This might not even resonate with you, but if it resonates with you, then go for what's uniquely tailored for your own soul, for exactly what's perfect for you and nobody else is like you. So you really need to go inside for yourself and see what, like the chakra system. I don't use the chakra system. I use more of, I use it as a reference, but I use more of like I see like my energy, like as this huge like ball of like bluish energy or like symbols and stuff. And that's my way to shift myself. I have to like tweak something or here and here. Even your guides, they come to you in many different forms. They'll come to you in whatever form resonates with you, because I honestly believe source is incomprehensible. And source translates to itself as a human being and the way that it comprehends itself. So the incomprehensible, as my guides have said, becomes comprehensible. But, you know, all that is what? Multi-dimensional realities, parallel realities, however you would like to say it. It's all these things effortlessly all at the same time. So we take the pieces and we try to understand ourselves as best as we can in segments and references, images. But it's really just translating to ourselves. Even our lifetimes are but translations of the energy that we experienced in that time. And that is all that we're remembering, is remembering the translations from all of us that was made comprehensible to us at that time as a human being. Yeah.
So I have a question.
Oh, wow.
Well, it's not for me, but it's gonna be for both of you guys.
Okay.
So Miss Lydia Mayhawk, if I pronounce it right.
Hello.
She said, she says, dude, I need a reading this week. Haha, lol. So
Oh, that's what she said?
Yeah, that's what she said.
Oh,
if
cool.
You two would like to get a reading.
Wow. That's cool. I'm honored. Oh, you.
Special guest.
Well, you know, shouldn't. Nah, all right. Oh, like right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, right now. How we do? We live.
All right, we live. I'm still getting used to this live stuff. I feel like in the beginning I was very like, I feel like I'm finally stepping into it. Okay. Here we go. So I guess I'm not gonna tell about the process. I'm just kind of gonna receive it, really. Yeah, I'm just gonna get. So what I kind of got was an image of you. You had like shackles on your hands, and then the shackles connected to your mind. And so what I'm getting the feeling is that you're using a lot of mental, I don't say implications, but you're using a lot of mental beliefs that are holding you back from being who you truly want to be. And I'm getting that this is from yourself. These are self-imposed beliefs or illusions that serve purpose, but it's now time to let go, because it's like your mind, if you're continuously going to that, instead of receiving what you are and receiving what you think you are, you're trapping yourself as a prisoner of your own belief systems instead of receiving from the mind what you are. It's like what you think you are, what you feel you are, what you remember you are. What I'm getting, like, what experiences are you holding on to or remembering and saying that's me, or defining that's me? Why, well, I did this. This can't change because I did this. I remember this. And the memories can even be shackles, chain of memories. There we go. Chain of memories. I'm remembering the Kingdom Hearts. Wow. That was 3. Hey, 3 in numerology means like magic and transformations happening. See, that's my Sagittarius side. Woo. But I also get so I see you kind of, okay, now I see shackles on the legs too. So it's kind of like all connecting, kind of like a prisoner, I guess you would say, and you're kind of like doing the penguin shuffle. You're not in Antarctica, so that's nice. But I see you kind of in the forest, and I'm seeing different trees you're kind of going to. And I'm seeing you like kind of like, I guess this is like an image from like Balto, the movie, but it's like you're kind of like scratching along the posts of the tree to where you know how to get back. But what I'm getting is that you don't need to know the way back. You don't need to use those old things that served you in the past. They're no longer serving you. It's time to let go of what is the old and time to go from what you truly desire now, what really resonates with you, and not what others are telling you is right for you. Even me, go for what resonates with you. Go with what you feel is right, because there are others I feel around you who are telling you, well, you need to do this way, or you need to do this chakra, or you need to do this, and you're listening to them because you're going from the mind of like, oh, well, this is what helped me in the past, so I need to do it now. And what I'm getting is the image of this book I saw yesterday at my work. It's like, what you got you here won't get you there, because it's a completely new energy system and you have it, but you need to relax into it. And it's not to be hard on you at all. It's with love and self-compassion, because I've done the same thing where it's like, it's hard to let go of the things that helped us, because we're like, this helped me so much. This helped me so much. And this helped me grow so much. This helped me amplify my energy so much. But it's time to, like I said, let go of the iPhone 6 and go for the iPhone 7. Update your stuff. That's what I'm getting for now.
What's iPhone X?
Or,
extra. Okay, so
and let me know if that served you.
What to add? add because she said some more. She said it earlier when you were going to me first started. She's like, I had a major breakthrough on shrooms this week and I'm looking for some insight, LOL. But then as you were going, she was like, what's strange is that I feel as though I just released some major emotional shackles this weekend. So that's what she said.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Did that resonate with you?
She says wonderful.
Oh, sweet, really? So what I was looking into was I was seeing you at this is someone you're interested in at work, and you see this person as ambitious and driven, and you're very much attracted to that, but your soul is like, I think I want that, but your soul is like, no, I don't. That isn't in my best good, because it's like this person isn't giving you what you think he should be giving you, and as a result of that, you're kind of resenting him and you're resenting yourself. Like, I'm not good enough for this person, and your soul is saying, hey, what you're doing is this is your path, but you're looking over here. And that's cool. He's cute. But what you really want is right here. You're looking over there, but what you really want is right here. So I'm wanting you to see, if you let go of what this person, you think this person can provide you, that you will then come into your path and you realize that the person you're wanting to truly on a soul level be with is on your path, but this person you're interacting with is not on your path. I feel like that's something that's important for you to know right now. This person is at your job, I'm feeling like, as well.
So she went. She said. Yeah.
Oh, like if it resonates.
It means like zero. You did horrible. No, it means
I was like, that's the most horrible thing to say right now. Oh, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm glad I can assist you, or because even I feel like what I'm letting go is this over humbleness. Like, I don't give myself enough credit for how intuitive or how much I've really helped people a lot. Like, I do symbols. I'm still working on that, and I guess I can show that. Well, we might show it at the end if I feel to. But I'm glad I could assist you, because I still have these small doubt, because I'm going through these shifts, and like what you said, I feel like I'm releasing emotional shackles as well. That really weren't never there, but they're beliefs that we created in order to shift, in order to experience, in order to see a change. Because how else can you do it if you're constantly that source, that loving energy? You have to create a belief in order to shift and create such an experience of it in the mind. But yeah, I'm glad I can help you because I still have my doubts. So this helps me to practice. So ask as many questions if you want. I really need to practice. Meadow's like, go for it. Anybody out there that wants to ask questions, ask away, and I'm gonna give you something.
I got a question.
Oh, okay.
So where do you see, like, what is, if you can feel it, whatnot, what do you feel is coming for you? Like, what do you sense? What do you get? Like, for Jason now to be, where his soul needs for him to be, soon, where do you see yourself? Like, what's coming to you? What's that? If you can describe that however you want.
The image I get is like this floating Buddha, and there's like the lotus flower underneath him, and then I see like millions of lotus flowers, and I see, it's not like, it's weird because I don't see them. They're connected to me, I know that, but I don't see any cords. So it's like I'm free to move about to whichever part of myself I want to express or feel. And what I get is that I'm accessing gifts from all my lifetimes, and all I have to do is relax into them and be aware of that. And that by naturally doing that, I'm going to attract all those energies of who I really am and who I've always desired to be, and to just pull it all in. And I won't be attached to it. I won't be trapped by it. I'll be having so much fun experiencing wherever I'm at and being able to freely choose where that will be. And just to really flow from the multidimensionality that I am. Not just a single figure Jason. I love this form, but I'm so much more than this. I'm not defined by the clothes I wear. I'm not defined by my eyes. This is but a form to express that which is incomprehensible, which is truly inexpressible. But that's what I feel. I feel just expansion. Really, I feel it's more of just trusting the relaxation of who I really am. It's me actually listening and acting on it and flowing from that.
Okay. Cool. You have a question?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Give Thaddeus the reading and give me a reading.
That wasn't a question. That was a demand.
That was a demand. That was a demand.
That was a
Would you like
demand.
to give me if that's a reading?
Yeah, you know, I need to practice.
Can't do manners. You can't ask. Oh. No, I was just saying you can't ask. Oh my God, look at it.
All right, well, you guys have to ask the question.
Here you go.
Oh, okay.
You gotta ask the question.
Okay.
You started it.
What's in my highest good to know? That's always.
You always
ask
ask that.
So
That's the most important thing.
So, okay. So I see you like in space. I usually see in space. Okay, then it changed to a different area. It's kind of like on top of the water. Yeah, I think you get this. And you're like walking on top of it. Turning the other cheek. No. But well, the one on your face or the one no. But oh my God. Oh, sorry.
these are inside jokes.
These are inside jokes. Truly inside jokes. The water's turning to wine. No. But is there a crucifix there? No. Okay. No. Okay. But here we go. So what I see like kind of like on water, but the water isn't blue, it's like pink. And even the background's pink. So think of like a sunrise or sunset. And I see you walking on water, and I see you actually, it's funny with the rings, and they're on fire. And what I'm getting is that you're kind of like spinning them. I'm getting like a martial arts visual. So it's kind of like you're using them like as nunchucks. And I see different colors of fire, like different variations. And it's not burning you at all. In fact, it's actually covering all of you. And I see it completely catching the water on fire, and it's making all these different symbols. And out of the water is kind of like different animals, and it's like giving growth is what I see. It's like creating I see you like creating from what people believe is dangerous or contradictory, and you're using that, what they take as dangerous or their belief systems as contradictory or bad, you're using that to your advantage and creating what others would not even believe would bend the laws of physics. That's what I got.
Interpret that. That's the visual, but interpret it.
I thought I did. I didn't interpret it?
I don't think so.
All right. So interpreting that, what I get is that I thought I did. I thought it was the part where the contradictory things or belief systems others have, the way that you will teach things that are contradictory or out there, you use to your advantage to create things that others wouldn't be able to create like the way you would be able to create. Like you use the things that may be dangerous. I know it seems like I'm just a repeating recorder, but what I get is that you're using the disadvantages that are thrown at you and you're creating from that. There we go.
Okay.
That's what I get.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and you're doing that. Here we go. There we go. I got to a more pure part of it. I got it right away. Was you're doing things that no others would do that has been done in this reality. Like, the water, why would the water catch on fire? Or why would you be spinning with fire? Why isn't it burning you? Or why is that coming out to where you use it to your advantage? You're doing things that are literally miracles that are bending the laws of physics and not known to this earth or reality as possible. You're doing the impossible, and that is what will be normal for your reality for you. Okay, that was my interpretation.
Nice, thank you.
No problem.
See,
I'm still working on it as well.
I mean, you kind of throwing me in this. I can't think of nothing to.
That's good to know. It's always best.
There you go. So Darius should let me know what's in my highest.
To grab you by your hair.
Grab you by your hair. Well, I can intuit that won't be the best idea. Huh? Oh, the phone.
Touch it.
Oh.
You're right.
Sorry, Darius is
being extra.
He's over there
doing the most.
I'm sneezing.
He is machine gun sneezer. So for Thaddeus, I see. Oh, okay, interesting. What I saw was, it's funny because I had an image or visual of this earlier in the shower. It wasn't of that. It wasn't of Thaddeus. It wasn't of Thaddeus. It wasn't.
Hold
Wait. Well, let's see what she says first, and we'll get to that.
Okay, yeah. Lydia said, Lydia said to you, Darius, oh, absolutely, that was the aha moment I had, Okay, so you read that.
Readings basically intertwined.
Okay, and then she said juggling his soul rays, making the occult acceptable, accessible. That's what she's asking, I guess. She's question marks. So this is for y'all.
Let me give that to you.
Juggling his soul rays, making it occult. Okay, she's referring to the reading you gave me just now.
Oh, okay.
Like interpreting and reading for her. I'm getting it. So that's what she's doing.
Okay, I see. Let me see the question again.
Like making the weird stuff normal. Making, that makes sense to me. Yes, that's something very much I want to do.
Yeah, no, you're right on. As for juggling his soul rays, that could be a way to define it, but I kind of see just kind of like using different energies and doing things that nobody's ever done before. But you can definitely define it as that. I like that, soul rays. That's pretty cool. But I just see him mixing energies and doing things, creating things that nobody's really ever done before in ways that maybe the way he teaches may be a way that others may not accept, or they may not, it may not be the norm. So it's definitely like what you said, to confirm that. It's just like doing stuff in ways that nobody's ever done before. There we go. That's the easiest way of saying that. Soul rays. I like that. That's cool. I just see him mixing and combining energies like nobody's ever done before. And just doing miracles really in ways that nobody's ever seen here. Oh yeah, now you. So what I saw for you, I hope that answered your question, but if not, I can definitely go into it more. Definitely communicate that with me. So for Thaddeus, I got so we're like in space or the universe, and I see, so think about like a spiral coming down, but it's not exactly a spiral. Think about like a cake. This is going to be hard to describe. So think about like there's 10 Thaddeus's here in a circle. And so instead of it being a spiral, it's like, okay, so then there's a space, and then there's like an expanded number of that, and it keeps going down. Okay. So it's kind of like an infinite versions of you, and I kind of see you like all holding hands. Oh my god. No, seriously. I heard like kumbaya, like singing kumbaya. It might be my soul just messing around, but at the same time, it's just funny. But so I kind of see you guys kind of like doing like the shuffle like they do on the Grinch.
Okay, and just coming together.
Like coming together and kind of, and then I see all your guys' hearts exploding. Mm-hmm. But I see that more as the human heart, and so that just drops down. Like all you guys are like, okay, yeah, we're done with that. We're doing that. No. Listen.
I knew it.
No. Dang.
I was trying to make you look, okay.
Well, if anybody out there is going through some tests, then this will definitely be a test for you to trust your guidance. But so what I saw was like kind of like think about like the airbag, or think about the whoopee cushion. The whoopee cushion. So the whoopee so the whoopee cushion, and so it's kind of like it exploded, and he just throws it out, and then I see like this heart that's like 3, I don't say rings, but like it's like different, it's like pink, green, yellow. It's kind of like an expanded version, like it's his true heart, it's his soul's heart, or his heart of hearts is what I like to say it. And I see all of them connecting to where they create this. This is weird with the visuals, but it's kind of like a spiral, and it's also like changing different forms at the same time. So what I get for this is that he's coming from his heart of hearts that's connected to all parts of him, to where he's creating different parts of his existence to all the things he desired, not just from this lifetime, from other lifetimes of what he truly desires to create in this one. And it might sound a bit similar to Darius, and I understand why. That's the reason. But basically, it's throwing away what he thought was his as divine and completely coming from a different source of himself, and expanding and aligning with that. Meadow, is that good? Is that good? Yep. Yeah, we're good. I still need to work on translating my images because they really are not. They're very hard to describe sometimes. Does that resonate with you, sir?
Yeah, it resonates. Thank you for
blowing your
answering Darius's question. You know.
Okay, cool.
I appreciate it.
Hey, I still need more practice for sure. It's what I need practice with is not receiving it. It's with translating it. Translating, because I can understand the most complex things, and the way I receive things can be insane, but it's translating it to others. That's where I need the practice, and still allowing it as well, for sure.
Sorry, I'm just laughing as he's messing with the dog. The dog looking at me like, "Why are you touching me?" And I'm looking at him like, "I didn't touch you." But you want to say anything for the audience? Nothing. So let's see. I'm just trying to see. Well, usually I don't know if there's how many are watching. Usually I would say if anyone else. Usually we kind of go to like anyone else have a question. Wait, we forgot to ask the most important question. Why? You're so extra. You're just so extra.
Hold it in for them.
Yeah, hold it in. So the question is, why? Question for you, Jason, is why did you incarnate?
I know this answer, surprisingly, which will be very easy. Oh, I accidentally. Is that off?
Oh, wait. No, it's green.
Oh, okay, it's green. It's green. The only thing I got really for that, the only thing I know I really want to do is definitely help assist people. But in the easiest way, what I've gotten from my guides, the clearest thing is that I'm a teacher of raising consciousness. That's the clearest thing I've gotten from my guides, from Source, from all that is, from Great Spirit, from my higher self, Ancient One, which is like everybody together, or my whole soul, is just a teacher of raising consciousness. I'm just here to help others let go. In a way, I don't know if some people will be comfortable with this. It's kind of like, it's not just me, it's the guys here too. We're here to let know the Old Testaments aren't working anymore, and it's time to let them go. It's kind of like we're Jesus in a way. And we're here to let you know the updates from Source. You know, you have this as well, but we're here to let you know, like, hey, you know, this isn't the current message Father or Source is giving anymore. You know, it's completely different, and you know what you can access now. So definitely a teacher of raising consciousness and letting go of all the illusions and even the high-held truths that we believe to be truly relevant when they're irrelevant. And it's really what resonates with you in the moment. You know, what was for you the most highest truth may have been the highest truth for me a week ago. It's constantly shedding. It's constantly evolving. It's constantly relaxing truer into ourselves as we really are. And I just know I'm a teacher of raising consciousness. And the one thing I know for sure in that form is, whether it's through books, whether it's through teaching things, sharing. God bless you. Trying to think what else. I guess I can share my symbols. That might be something that would be cool. I can share the recent one I did.
Hold on, before you do.
Oh yeah. Someone asking something?
Lydia said she just came home to, I'm gonna assume SO means significant other.
Yes.
Okay. And she says if you want to do a reading for him, he's open to it.
Oh, let's Darius do it first. We're gonna have Darius do this one first.
Oh, okay. What were you gonna say? Because I'm gonna
do it too.
But what were you gonna say before she interrupted you?
Oh,
say that and I'll
okay. After this reading, I was just gonna show my symbols that I get. They're supposed to be very powerful symbols that shift soul's energies. I can, you know, they help assist. I've helped assist Thaddeus. I've helped assist Darius. I've helped assist many other of our amazing brothers and sisters with these symbols. They're very powerful. They shift literally at the soul level, whatever you need to know in that moment, whatever is needed to heal, especially during these shifts that we're assimilating of different energies at this time that are pouring through. So I will share that after this reading that we do. That's what I was talking about.
So basically, dude, you're wanting to give to your partner, but you don't know how. You're trying to because by doing like things you think are appropriate to do, but you can't give because you don't know how to give to yourself. You've yet to give to yourself, so you can't give of yourself to her because you aren't you don't know what that feels like. So it's almost like as if you're frantically trying to figure out what can I do to make this person happy. And what you can do for them is to make yourself happy. And as a result of that, your happiness will be effervescent. It'll flow from you without much effort, and that person will then be happy as well. But I'm seeing you frantically wanting to please this person, but you can't. You yet to please yourself. By pleasing yourself, you can then please this person as a result of that. That's what I'm getting.
Would you like to interpret that? I was just joking. I'm just saying.
But it's like you're kind of like hiding. It's like you're like. It's not a facade. It's like I don't know what to do, but I think this is what I'm supposed to do, so I'm going to do this. But what you're supposed to do is do for you, and as a result, you've been inspired to act for her. You see what I'm saying?
To add on, she did say he's a bit of a hardened Taurus.
Hardened Taurus. Okay. I don't know. Okay, thank you.
She wrote that, so.
Okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Damn, maybe I should have gone first. So I'm just gonna see what I receive for him, and okay, this seems very similar to what you kind of had, was the shackles thing, but I see it on his forearms and I see it connecting to his head, but it's kind of like a spear went through his head, and it's kind of like coming down here. So what I'm getting is this is like a self-confidence thing. So I guess it's kind of like what Darius said. So I kind of see that he's relating this, who he is, in definition to his self-confidence or self-esteem. And it's definitely a lack of self-love, a lack of self-compassion, not to get down on anybody, but it's like, what I'm kind of feeling is that there's something to do with family in this. I'm feeling an uncle, possibly. I feel like someone was kind of like very hard on him as a kid. Very, you need to do X, Y, and Z to make this person happy. And you need to do, I'm trying to think. It's kind of like they conditioned him so much to where he can only open up to certain avenues of love just because he's been so conditioned in that way. And it's very hard for him to let go and truly open up just because he is afraid of making a mistake. He's afraid of, well, if I do this, I've been told by these people this way if I do this, and that could be anybody really, but I get as a family energy is that, well, then I will only get this certain result, or this will happen to me, or if I mess up, this bad thing happens to me. So it's kind of like a fear of really opening up to the love because of what has happened in the past as a family member, really being really hard on him. And what I'm getting is like, it's like an uncle. No, it's definitely an uncle. And there's also something about grandma. It's just like they're kind of like whatever fears they had, they kind of like, I don't say implanted, but you've taken on from them, like kind of like the world's out to get you and you can only give what you get. Or it's like a very, I don't say intense, but I don't say deep. It's definitely something that's really in there that he's really letting go right now and becoming more aware of, which is good, but it's definitely a worthiness thing for sure. Definitely a worthiness thing of like, am I really good enough to be loved? And can I really feel that love as well? And it's hard to feel the love of another, especially how much they're trying if you don't love yourself, because you're only blocking that and even blinding yourself with it because of the blinders you put on yourself, because you don't see it in yourself. You will not see it in another. So that's what I feel. So what I'm getting is self-forgiveness, and forgiving the grandpa, forgiving the grandma, forgiving the uncle, for they did serve you, whoever you are, who I'm reading for. They helped serve you in certain ways that your soul wanted to learn certain lessons. But it's time to let them go because they are getting in the way of your relationship or your significant other at this time. And really to stop using it's kind of like the same as Lydia, stop using the experiences of the past. Be as compassionate as you can with yourself, but truly let go of the past in order to really move forward in a new future with your significant other. So that's what I got.
She wrote stepfather ? I don't know if that's like maybe it was a stepfather too. I don't know, but she just said stepfather question mark.
I'm getting mixed on here. This is weird. It's
Can
one
I
of the
actually
specifics.
elaborate like what she means?
No, I feel like I can get this.
There's another question she asked us earlier.
I'm getting a mixed thing. I got yes at first, and I was like, why am I getting yes? But it's weird because I get like mixed things. So what I'm getting is yes, that there's a little bit of an influence, but it wasn't as much as the two people I was talking about.
And I'm seeing that stepfather say no. It's like this, like no.
Yeah. But that's the thing too. Like I also got a no as well, was like that's not the huge thing that's holding him back, or the big hard program conditioning that's limiting him in expressing that self-love. So the yes for me, like there was some influence, but it's not the big deep-seated influence like from his other family members. Does that resonate with you?
She well after that she has said in
For him.
stepfather instead of uncle, but like the same kind of energy. So that's what she said.
Which is
Instead of uncle, but like same kind of
energy.
But I think you guys just kind of answered that, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe so. I'm still learning to.
Please just
Wait,
Okay.
she- earlier when you were talking about like your purpose, she said also so spot on. I've got chills. That's what she said.
wait.
To Darius, right?
I think she just said that in general.
Wait. Let me see.
Also, last part. Also so spot on.
So we're both right. That's what I'm
Oh, so wait. Oh,
Both right.
okay. We're both right. Okay, cool.
She asked earlier, I think this was to you, Jason. Do
Okay.
you have a prominent Chiron placement?
Oh, Chiron.
Chiron.
That's astrology. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is.
I have
I
never
don't know.
heard of it till now.
Mine's in Leo, but I don't know what it is. Chiron. It's like a it's asteroids when they get together. It's called a what?
Asteroid ball?
It's like a cluster of something.
A cluster.
A clusterfuck.
Asteroid cluster.
It's a special name, but that's what a Chiron is. It's astrology stuff. I don't know what.
I have no idea, to tell the truth.
I think mine's in Leo or something.
She said, "This is like eerie. You have a mad gift. Wonder healer who teaches through learning from pain. First centaur." That's what she's saying.
Is that towards me or Darius? Towards me? Thank you. You know, sometimes I honestly, you know, because I'm very humble, so sometimes I don't really I don't say accept, but it's like I'm learning to.
Yeah, peace with how great you are.
There we go. Yeah, like I'd be like, I am the shit, and I'm not. It's not my ego. It's just the truth.
Yes, like,
That's kind of.
Yeah. Cool. So yeah, you.
Oh, thank you. Wow, wait, can I read this again? Because this is like, this helps me. I really need to do that Etsy thing. You're right.
Yes.
You have a mad gift, wounded healer who teaches through learning from pain. First centaur. Oh, you. Yeah. Haha. Wow, that's so cool. You got chills? Thank you. I really appreciate that. Can you believe that literally like maybe even a month or 2 months ago, and even sometimes when I have lifetimes of doubt come up, I don't believe I'm intuitive, even though these two have clearly said I'm extremely intuitive, and I've had random psychics come up to me saying I'm extremely intuitive and deeply connected. It's been a process during these shifts, but I appreciate it. I need to practice more for sure. You know what? Maybe you might get something out of my symbol then. We did give you a reading. Yeah, let me do that then. Do you want me to create one in the moment right now, or to show you? You know what? I'm going to create one in the moment because I brought my light blue marker, and I'll create one in the moment, and I'll show you. And I'll just head off to one of you guys. Thank you so much, though. Seriously, because sometimes I've been having a problem with trusting that I actually really am receiving things. So that was one of the biggest compliments you can give me. I appreciate that. I need to practice more for sure.
Thank you, sir. You guys have any other questions?
She said, "No, dude, thank you."
Oh wow.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Hey.
You should be very confident. It's been a process during these shifts, though.
You understand that?
Bless you.
So I believe he is going to.
Yeah, he's getting his notebook out so he can do a symbol for whomever.
Yeah.
Anything you want to say, Thaddeus? Want to tell me how much you love me? How much you appreciate me?
Yeah, I say that on the regular.
No, you don't. I ain't heard it in like a few months. It's been a while.
No, you've heard it.
When?
I told you.
Well, you
When?
guys know I've told you.
I
guys
messaged you.
love
You just ignore it.
When?
Don't make me go do this. Why you
Please.
put this on here?
Please.
We gotta
You
go
didn't.
to
I don't ignore your messages.
I be telling you stuff.
Show you lying.
I guess I'll show you guys an old one too. This was the one I did recently.
Well, you gotta show them.
Can you guys see that? Oh, is that a bug? Oh, that's an arrow. That like resonates at my core as symbols. I love symbols.
So they can bring it back.
Okay.
I wanted to draw
Now
one.
I'm gonna draw one. Ask Lydia if she wants me to draw one for her and her significant other. Or that's interesting. That figure 8 you had was kind of like
Profound and
that's something about figure 8s for some reason. We've been using a lot as references.
Oh, it's nothing.
Okay, so I'll just do one.
He's going to tell them that he's going to draw.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna draw a symbol for.
I'll do that.
She said, "Heck yeah."
Okay, cool. Actually, you.
So,
Oh, okay.
Good to go.
Shut up. That's our symbol. Should I be reading these out?
The figure 8 is what she's talking about.
What? Serious? Well, Thaddeus had it on his phone, but I've been like seeing like the figure 8 a lot lately. So that's interesting. Shut up. That's our symbol. The figure 8. LOL. That's the third time that. Oh, like I was gonna say.
That's the third time someone brought it up to us this week. As it's insane.
3. Okay. I'm gonna give this off, and I'm gonna do a symbol for you and your significant other. That's the intention, and I want you to tell me what you see from it.
were you like waiting for her to respond? Like you were like,
No, I'm gonna do it.
that was
Oh, I don't
you
know.
noticed that is? You noticed that too. Like you said something. You're like, okay, this guy is a little weird over here. What's he doing? Oh, okay. Studies, how have you been?
I have been fantastic.
Have you?
I really have. I
Uh-huh.
really have been.
Are you lying to me?
No, I wouldn't lie to you. I
Mhm.
tell you everything.
No, you don't. What? What's something I haven't wanted to hear?
No, I was just asking.
Uh-huh.
But nah, I've been really good, dude. I've been fantastic. One of my things is just to learn to let go. And that's,
Let go of.
in general, just learning. Like I've done it before. I've let go before, but a part of me, like, here we go. I was at a state and I let things go, but somehow, some way, unconsciously, I went back down to the stuff that I dropped, and it's like, oh no, I need to leave this, So I just like, people, situations, energy, all that in one.
Okay, so it's like the things that you like. Not what's the word? Resentment.
Not really. Here we go. Perfect. Here we go. It's like I'm an eagle, but I was hanging around with chickens.
Okay.
So I know
Letting people things that aren't on your level go, basically.
Yeah, there we go.
Okay.
Simple.
Thank you for not letting me go.
Ooh.
But yeah, so like
Okay.
that, and just going back up to like where eagles be at, and just chilling up there.
Okay.
I was just like doing that. It's like I know the chickens. Like I grew up with that chicken right there. That chicken cool, but it's like let that chicken go for the for the betterment of the chicken and myself, mostly myself. But yeah. But also doing that, it's kind of like that chicken will realize that it's not a chicken either. So it's kind of like, the self-starter type shit.
Okay.
Kind of like what I needed when I was becoming very dependent on you.
But you grew. Oh, that's happened. That's happened. Real good. Real good.
Okay. Letting go, but in a very different way. Like letting go of creating like things that are awesome. Like I made that lump sum of money very quickly, and it's because, and within 2 days, I got 6 guest compliments. Like they called the manager over to the table, and like said, "This dude is great." And also, someone left a comment on open tables that was good. Used my name and everything, so like they hooked me up with free food and stuff.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, So it's just like me expecting to have great tables all the time, and it's just like clockwork, dude. Truly like clockwork. Especially this week, it's like truly like coming hardcore.
So I did a symbol for
Show
you,
them?
and Darius is actually going to show you guys. It's for you and your significant other. And I just want you to see, it might be something simple as a realization. I just want to see what comes to you. What comes to you when you see this symbol? Or it could be something simple as an image. Like yesterday, my brother said with a different symbol I sent him, he saw like the Pocahontas blue waterfalls coming over him, and he felt this energy of peace. So it's whatever your experience is meant for you that your soul opens up for you, which is you. So you're relaxing into you and the realization of that, and me assisting you with this symbol.
Can I see what I'm seeing? Should I wait?
Oh, you can say whatever you want. It's up to Jason if he finished explaining it. So.
So I
She didn't say
just.
nothing yet.
Okay, she didn't say anything.
It's,
Okay.
By the way, it's a slight delay on their end.
Oh yeah, I forget that because.
You know, you can always bring it back.
I could.
Because they can always
I
pause.
want to make sure they got that.
Okay, I got you. Okay.
Okay, thanks, Darius. I
I
appreciate
just
that.
got this like this tapping into each of their souls and kind of like you know how DNA looks. Obviously, like that thing. It's like this. You know, like you ever see DNA?
Yeah, strands of
it's like
DNA.
that, and they're coming together as a result of this symbol. It's like drawing.
Ooh. Okay. Well, do you want to give? Well, he already gave you
Yeah.
kind of a mini reading. Was he kind of sees me accessing both your guys' souls, and this kind of like a DNA strands of like you guys both coming together,
Yeah.
more closer and more harmony. Cool.
Yeah.
Huh.
Okay.
No, you're good. And
Ooh, how much it been due? Because remember, it's the limit.
But remember, we said we could break.
That's true.
So we're good.
it's insane. Okay, maybe she went to sleep.
Oh, wait.
Oh.
Looks like a boat in the water passing a mountain heading toward a valley. And he said, like a street. No, like a street. So
Cool.
yeah. I like that you're just getting comfortable and letting cool. Sorry, I'm talking to a dog.
It's okay. Express your inner feelings. You know how you truly feel about Noah and his ark.
Yeah, I know.
You don't want to flood him and drown him.
No, I don't want to give
I
I
was
have
about to
plans,
say
I
that,
have
yeah.
plans for this bird. Well, like y'all think I'm joking. Shh. Let me see what happens.
Podcast audience goes down.
Hey,
I'm just messing.
hey.
I'm messing. Just-
But yeah,
Okay,
did you
cool.
tell them also how? Well, you already said what it.
Yeah, I said whatever their experience is, and if you guys want, you guys can go deeper into it, like what else it might mean for you. But that's cool. Like however you receive it. Like what? Okay, it looks like a boat in the water passing a mountain heading toward a valley. What do you feel that means for you? It seems like you're going towards more open waters, you're going further out than ever before. He said it's like a street, like paving the way for what's to come. Darius was way cooler. Haha. Dang. Oh, wait. Oh, you guys are talking about your guys' own reading? Oh, okay. You want him? Okay, your interpretation. Do you guys want him to go a little bit deeper on that then? Well, maybe, well, I kind of said like a little interpretation. So what I get for looks like a boat in the water passing a mountain heading toward a valley is that you're just abundance is flowing towards you. Different opportunities are flowing towards you. You're learning to relax more, enjoy the ride and the experience instead of it being more of a destination. You're learning to relax more. You're learning to, okay, cool. You know, I understand there's infinite destinations, so I'm learning to flow.
They're much more intuitive when they're together. I'm seeing they're like souls combined.
Say some more stuff.
So it's like I spoke of the DNA helix, which is how DNA. That's what the structure is called, a helix, HELIX, and that you two are coming together. But like it's like the more this helix twists and turns, the closer you guys become until you become one. And once you become that one, it's like your intuition. I say intuition because it's almost as if remember that reading I gave you when I first met you of how there's like certain people on this planet. You know, like 13 I gave you or something.
Yeah.
And so that yeah, that's what I'm getting from them. And once they get together and come together, there's that energy of just a very immediate intuition increase just by being one with each other. But by being one with each other, you're being one with yourself because you are of the same energy, essentially. Yeah.
And not an excuse to jump in, but I had my intuition amplified when I was with hanging out with Clarissa. So I understand that.
Yeah. There you are.
All right, cool. Nice. All right. So I hope that assisted and shifted you guys or whatever you guys needed. And I guess for your significant other, he said like a street. So what I was kind of saying is what I was getting is like building the foundation for what's to come. It's kind of like brick lane is what I kind of see for me, or like you're paving the way and smoothing out things. Oh, he has low battery on his phone. But it's like you have the road and it's no longer such a rocky road. You have like the concrete put in. You're paving it out to where you can have a smooth drive, and all you have to do is enjoy the ride. So that's what I'm kind of getting. So for both, it's really just that you guys are in a place where you can really trust and flow from your guys' soul and just enjoy the ride. And you're learning to just enjoy the ride more, and that it's all going to unfold no matter what. Yeah. You want to say anything else?
That's really about it.
That's
I mean,
it.
I think
Well,
by now, right?
you know, I want to thank you guys. Thank you for having me on the show, of course. I felt like I was a little bit rocky in the beginning. But
I think it was fun.
it was, well, it's still fun, but it was like I don't say I was nervous, but I was sometimes I kind of like I tune into so much different stuff and I could be so random.
You're doing too much.
You said one for me?
Huh?
One for me, right?
Yeah.
Lydia says, "Thank you guys. It was super fun and super enlightening.
Ooh.
Make sure you like and share and whatnot, Lydia. That way we can help other people out. We got some friends. It'll be pretty fun. It's our way of getting to know more people, help out and stuff like that. So yeah.
We're all teachers of raising consciousness for sure. And yeah, thank you for trusting me to be able to do that, because it is a process, because I know that I'm letting go of belief systems as well, of like what my guides tell me, it's like old lifetimes of like when I'm afraid my intuition leads someone wrong, or it's just all these old illusions, all these old fears, self-imposed beliefs that I'm letting go of, because it's like it's someone's life. Instead of understanding what I really can tune in, I can really guide or assist someone into their own knowing. So thank you for trusting me and giving me the feedback that I need to step more into my power and trusting and flowing from that. So yeah, and you know what? Actually, do you guys know what your guys' names mean? I'll keep an eye out for you. Do you guys know what your I know your name's Lydia. Do you know what the meaning of your name is? And then who your significant other's meaning of his name is? It's just a curious thing that popped in my head just now, and I usually follow that.
Sometimes they hear you. Yeah.
Oh, they didn't hear me?
No, you got to give it time.
Oh, the time lag. I got you. I'll share mine. Mine is Jason, and it's supposed to be Greek origin. I remember in high school they made us search it, and Jason means he that cures, or he that heals, or the healer. So that's pretty interesting, because now that's exactly what I'm getting into, is like healing or assisting, soul shifting. But I was curious what your guys' names meant. It was something that popped in my head, so that's interesting. And while we're waiting, anything else? No, nothing.
After this, if they respond, then we're wrapping it up.
Okay. Yeah. I guess I feel to talk about something, and what I feel to talk about is there's something about judgment. What I feel to say, and this is the easiest thing I got. First believer of Jesus who was a widowed woman who owned her own purple silk. Wow, that's pretty cool. Of Jesus. Strange for a woman at that. Strange for a woman at that time to have her own house and business. And purple silk was the color of royals. And Michael. Dang, that was all for one easy one. Haha. Wow, you had quite a definition on your name. Wow, that was a lot. That's cool. So that was for both of them, or that was just for her. Okay, and then the other one's Michael's, so we're searching that one. Easy one. Okay, yeah, that's one I can probably search. Okay, that's cool. Thank you. I'm gonna say one more thing, because I feel like this is very important. Is that there's a lot of shifts that are going on. I know with me, there's a lot of shifts because my guides tell me I'm not really doubting, but there's the old energy coming up. And so what I like to say is that try to be as focus on anything, focus on self-compassion and self-love. Truly, like get with your guides on that, get with your higher self, your source, and really focus on that, because there are going to be times where you're going to have people around you who are really not themselves. I call it mask. I call it shedding. They're letting go of what they once thought, remembered, or felt they were. And it's all old illusion energies, all old belief systems that people have tuned into that they're letting go and releasing to be all that they can be. It's a lot of mental energy. It's a lot of energy in the air. Deeply ground yourself in your own energies, because this will help so where you don't tune into others, especially if you're intuitive. Just self-love and self-compassion, and understand you're exactly where you need to be, and to be at peace with that. Be content with it, because if you can be at peace and content with this now, then later unfolding now, that's considered a future thing that really never arrives here because it's all now. You'll be at peace anyway. So when you have all the things you want, you'll already be at peace and content with it or without it. But just self-compassion and self-love is the hugest focus, especially self-compassion, because it's to release any and all judgments. There's even this book, Gabriel Bernstein, I'm seeing, says judgment detox. That's the perfect thing that this can be called, because when you judge it, you identify with the energy and you start tuning into it. And then you might tune into others depending on how sensitive you are. Like me, if I identify with it, I will tune into others, and a lot. And that means like the whole world basically, and more. But I just want to say just self-compassion and self-love. That's the focus I would greatly, highly recommend. Yeah. So that was the thing I was talking about. And also my Nana's name. Haha. Did I read the? Because I forget we have to read all of them so people know that what it's saying. Okay, that was it. Okay, cool. Want to thank everybody for who was watching and who asked questions, Lydia and Michael and whoever else was watching or didn't ask questions. That's cool. Thank you for this opportunity. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for having me on here. And all I do is wish for you to trust and believe in the source that you are, and to really relax in that and have fun with it. You know, because it doesn't have to be a serious thing. You can have fun, lighten up, you know, let go of the way that you think you should receive, because you might be surprised. Something very simple. Just, oh, okay, go eat this, go do this. Self-love, focus on yourself. You know, you don't have to receive it like how others channel. You know, you're receiving perfectly fine. And also understand you're constantly in connection and communication with source that might not always be telepathic. It can be many things. It could be the movies that you're being shown. It could be a little newspaper heading. It could be anything. It depends on what resonates with your soul. So that's what I wanted to say.
Thank you guys for tuning in. I want to thank Jason as well for coming on board. Next week, I don't know who we're going to interview. We're going to interview someone. Jeff will be next. Ooh, Jeff. I like Jeff. Okay, so I want you guys to like and subscribe to our channel. Like this video, of course. Be sure to share this with your friends, so forth. And have a great day. We'll see you next Tuesday at 4 p.m. hopefully, maybe some other time. 5 p.m. Okay, well, 5 p.m. it is. All right, 5 p.m. See you next week. See you next week, okay?
See you later.
Bye.